What's up? It's Cecily here of Operation Fibroid Freedom. I'm back with another daily diary. It's my daily juice cleanse diary or an accountability check-in. It's officially day 2 of what will be my 3-day juice cleanse. So I'm right at the halfway point, coming in to give you the real on what it feels like if you've never done a juice cleanse, what my experience is like, and just kind of give myself a nudge of support for making it thus far, so it helps me to make this accountability and also to be transparent. It's kind of a inside look at what my personal experience is like when I'm going through a fast. So today I think this morning when I woke up, immediately I was hungry. So I went straight for my green juice, which I will put a clip here. This was a different recipe than yesterday. I juiced in two batches, first of all. So the first batch is what you saw me sipping on yesterday. And then today's early morning batch it had an herb in it, a Mexican herb that I got called epazote. It's really good for digestive and really anti-parasitic for the gut. Very nourishing for that whole region, but it also had my usual go-tos like for making a lot of juice. I always start off with celery and cucumber, and then I layered in some Swiss chard, dandelion with the purple stems, of course. It had cilantro and parsley and garlic. So I'm tripping. That was yesterday's. I mixed them up. You see, I'm getting a little loopy, a little lightheaded. And this is kind of a factor that happens with me when I'm fasting. I'm definitely feeling a little bit more basically chilled out today, like to take it easy. I definitely am making sure I prioritize getting my water in, even though I am drinking juice, and my nutrition, which is kind of not complicated, but I have an intricate way that I've been working on making sure I get my vitamins and minerals while I'm going through a juice cleanse, since I'm not getting it through food. And anybody that's interested in that, I invite you to sign up when I make this experience available for you to participate in, or as a mini juice cleanse. Very soon, I will be putting it all together in an organized fashion for those that want to do this on their own time. Today's juice had epazote, the herb that I mentioned that's really good for digestive cleansing, but it also had apples, Granny Smith apples, celery and cucumber. There were some golden beets in that one. And then I had red cabbage in that as well. And then that may have been everything. So this one was a little more fruit forward, so it was good. I was in the mood for something sweet, the feeling of a treat, so it helped satisfy that early this morning. But overall, the juicing aspect of everything has been really smooth. I definitely feel energized once I have my juice. And something about me and my juice recipes, I use things like garlic. I use a lot, I forgot to say ginger. Today's recipe with the epazote blend was a little sweet from the apples, and it also had a lot of ginger. Ginger gets me through, and that's what I was about to say. I usually will add a very powerful herb. I'll layer that in for flavor based on whether I want a sweet experience or a savory experience with the juice. So today, this morning, I wanted a sweet experience, and when I thought about it, I just add a little spice with the ginger. I make sure it's nice and gingery, and that gives me kind of some depth to my juice experience. As crazy as that sounds, It really helps me, especially when I'm experiencing cravings, hunger pains, weak moments, to sip on a juice that has a strong, powerful flavor layered in. That's how I feel like it helps me to at least begin to feel like I got as close to what you could call the experience of having a meal, even though it's not really the same thing, if you know what I mean. One thing I noticed about juicing is when I'm going through something like juicing and I'm not consuming any solid foods, I really start to appreciate foods that I overlook when I am consuming solid foods. It really makes all the foods look and taste so good, even things that I don't normally eat. My family is cooking and stuff around me, so it's definitely a workout for my willpower. Things are smelling so good. This morning, and I'll put a screenshot of this amazing liver support detoxing elixir that I made. This is a little bit of a different recipe, and I'll put the picture here. But this morning I had that, and I was out of my plant milk. I didn't have any more almond milk. I did have coconut milk. I forgot about that. Maybe tomorrow I'll be thinking of using the coconut milk in the next beverage. But I made my own milk from walnuts and pecans, and it was so good. It was so delicious and simple to make. It was so simple. I'm like, I am never buying store-bought plant milk again. So there's a lot of positive eureka moments that come out of going on a cleanse and a fast. That's one of them for me. It was so rich, and it had beautiful color. It was a smooth texture. I didn't even see any remnants of the pulp from the nuts. It was like they all blended beautifully. Once I boiled them really quickly, I let them sit. Not for a long time either. So I used that as the base for my liver detox drink this morning, and it was so rich and delicious and flavorful and just an amazing experience altogether. And that's what I mean. The magnification of how good simple things are, smell and taste are heightened. They're through the roof. So, and then, now I will be doing that from now on, because that was like so amazing. Tastes way better. So anyway, I've had that beverage, the elixir. I've had, maybe this morning when I had the epazote juice, I had about maybe 50 to 60 ounces of that juice. And then I had water, of course. Water's still important. Matter of fact, I need to go get some water right now. Then I had tea. I had my butterfly pea. This was butterfly pea tea with guayusa and holy basil. Really good blend. And that may be all that I've had. It's just about time for me to go grab some more green juice. And this time I'll be grabbing the golden beet based. Primarily, it's more orange colored. It's like golden beets and carrots. I'll be having that next. But I just wanted to pop on and let y'all know your girl is going strong. The juice cleanse is doing me well. It's getting into the evening. And I'll make another video about this separately because I don't want these to be too long. This is just the accountability portion. But I will be putting out some coaching points, some tips. If you want to do this is something you want to do. I want to make sure, you get the most out of that, how to get the most out of a cleanse experience, out of a fast experience. So I will be posting some of my best practices, and some of them I'll tell you about right now because I'm about to go do them right now. But is to make your cleanse experience, your fast experience of any kind, sacred, make it a sacred ritual or practice for yourself that has meaning, by adding new activities, and maybe even not new, but just activities or actions where you can really take time for mindfulness, Sometimes it's not even an action or an activity, but just slowing down, right? When you're doing a sacred wellness art of this nature that is very spiritual and very personal, sometimes it's as simple as allowing yourself rest. Me personally, I'm about to go into some mindfulness and visualization practice, prayer and meditation. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in another video. So if you're interested in learning more, reach out to me. I will let you know when my program for the self-guided 3-day juice cleanse is available. Even if you're not interested in doing this, it's important to challenge ourselves. It's important to learn, give ourselves opportunities to learn about ourselves in different conditions, learn deeper insight about ourselves by putting ourselves into situations where we're not necessarily the most comfortable all the time, because that helps us to gain strength and awareness of our own strength and power when it comes to shrinking fibroids, reversing sickness and disease, whatever, going off onto a direction on your own when medical doctors and family members don't believe that natural fibroid elimination or reversing another sickness or disease is possible. It's very, very powerful tool for building your mental power, self-reliance, self-mastery, and conditioning your mindset. I mean, we're going through a time right now where literally, I mean, we've been going through this, to be honest, but the food supply is under attack. And that's saying it, putting it lightly. So we always need to be able to be flexible and be able to switch things up for survival practices, right? So working on being able to get through a fast or a time where you, if in case you're not able to consume food for a certain amount of time, as a survival practice, to learn more about that part of yourself, just for safety, protection of yourself and your body, your temple, depending on what happens, in case what if there's a scare, sometimes the media will talk about a scarcity of availability of food, well, if you had to get by on water, maybe a little bit of juice or some fruit, you could do it, so this is just other reasons why it was important to me to do this. It's deeper than, even though it's very important to do for shrinking fibroids and bringing your body into balance, but there's also spiritual levels, other reasons why something like this is so important. So I'll be back and I will be sharing with you some behind the scenes of the juices that I had. So stay tuned for the next video. Bye.